কোথায় গেল রে বাকিগুলো? ও, আমি স্টার্ট করে দেবো। তোদের যে আরেকটা গ্রুপে জন্য একটু লিখে দে, তাড়াতাড়ি জয়েন করতে। এই গ্রুপে লিখলাম। ঘুমোচ্ছে নাকি বেড়ে? এই অংশুমান, আছিস না গেছিস? আছিস, লেখ তাড়াতাড়ি। কতক্ষণ ওয়েট করে রইল? লিখেছিস? অংশুমান কি ঘুমায় নাকি? আরে তোদের ওই গ্রুপটা লেখ, তোদের যে ফ্রেন্ডসদের গ্রুপটা আছে লেখ তাড়াতাড়ি জয়েন করতে। তো লিখলাম, এগুলো কি ঘুমায় নাকি? কত সময় লাগে এদের জয়েন করতে? 1 ঘন্টা ধরে কি ওয়েট করে? যত দেরি হবে আমার ছাড়তেও দেরি হবে, পরিষ্কার। হ্যাঁ। না, আমি স্টার্ট করছি, হ্যাঁ। হুম। হুম। Okay. So today's topic is greedy waste first search. Okay. So in the last class we have discussed the best first search algorithm, and let me remind you again, best first search is basically a version of informed search. Okay, so it basically uses evaluation function value in order to find out which node is more promising to go to the goal node. Okay, which node is more promising to go to the goal node, that we know. Okay, so depending on that we use best first search algorithm, but as the name suggests, we may think that always you are going to find out the base node. That means, what is the base node? By the way, what is the base node in searching? Obviously, the node which is going to give us the goal node is the base node. Okay, but base node cannot be found very easily. Okay, that means goal node cannot be found very easily. So even if it is a base first search, name is base first search, but it doesn't mean that always it is going to find out the goal node very quickly. Rather, it is going to find out the node which is more promising, okay, by use of evaluation function value. Now, depending on the best first search algorithm, we have to design the evaluation function fn that I told you last day. Now, in case of finding the evaluation function, it is most important that the evaluation function uses the concept of heuristic. Okay, I told you about the concept of heuristic information. I told you about the heuristic function as well. Now, best first search has different flavors, has different versions. One of the versions is called greedy best first search. In greedy best first search, as the name suggests, it always tries to find out the node which is closest to the goal node. Okay. So here in greedy best first search, the evaluation function fn is basically calculated as hn. So we don't apply any other thing other than hn in order to calculate fn. So always in a particular state, that is in a current state, we look forward to find out the node which is closest to the goal node. Okay, and thinking that if we are trying to figure out the node closest to goal node, so depending on that node, if we are going to expand that node, obviously we are going to find out the goal node very easily. So that is the initial concept of greedy search. You can remember we have done greedy search in algorithm also. So that is the concept. But as we know that only that concept is not may not lead to the optimal solution always. Okay, the solution which looks very optimal currently may not be optimal at the last at the end. So in that case, we need to use some other concept other than finding the evaluation function or calculating the evaluation function only using the HN value. So in later search, we will be coming to another search where we will be modifying this concept of FN. But in greedy best first search, FN is equal to HN. Okay. Now greedy best first search is greedy best first search basically resembles DFS, depth first search. It does not ensure optimality, it does not ensure completeness. It may go into a depth and then it may find that the depth is infinite, the path is infinite, and it will not get the solution. Okay, so that may be possible in case of greedy best first search, that we know. So greedy best first search is not always optimal, and most of the time it is not optimal. It does not even ensure the completeness as well. So it is not a very good search. Sometimes it will give a good result, but not always. In the worst case, complexity is order of b to the power m, where b is the branching factor and m is the maximum depth. That we know that in case of BFS, in case of DFS, depth first search, we use this concept of m, maximum depth, because it is dig into a particular depth. So maximum depth concept is there. But in case of breadth first search, BFS, we use the concept of shallowest solution because it is going to expand all the solution in all the levels. So BFS is finite, BFS is complete, but DFS is not. So the same problem of DFS is applied in greedy best first search as well. Okay. Now greedy best first search retains all the nodes. So space and time complexity are same, order of b to the power m. In DFS, we have seen that the space complexity is reduced, but in case of greedy best first search, it is not reduced as well. So greedy best first search is not a very good thing to do. But the thing is that we can reduce this complexity if we are going to choose a good heuristic. Okay, so choosing a good heuristic function, as I told you, heuristic function is a very important concept regarding the informed search techniques. If we are going to choose the heuristic function in a proper way, then obviously our search are going to be accelerated. That means we are going to have a good searching algorithm. But if we have chosen the heuristic function in a wrong way, then the search is not a beneficial. Okay, that we know. So heuristic function has a very important part to play in case of best first search and greedy best first search as well. Okay. So if you are going to design the heuristic function in a proper way, then greedy best first search or any kind of informed search which uses the heuristic concept is going to be very, very useful. But otherwise, it is not going to be very, very useful. That is the important concept we have to remember. So while we will be developing the informed search technique, especially the heuristic functions that we are going to use in informed search, we need to be very, very careful about the heuristic function design so that it never overestimates the actual cost. I told you that heuristic function should be admissible. That means it should not overestimate the actual cost. Otherwise, the searching is not going to be beneficial for us. Okay. So we have to ensure that always whenever we develop the heuristic function. So if we develop the heuristic function in a proper way, greedy best first search, time complexity, space complexity, they are going to be reduced, and it may produce a good searching thing. It may produce the optimal result in some time, but it is not assured. Because of the fact that greedy best first search always look for the node closest to the goal node, optimality may not be assured in many of the cases. Okay, so we have to think about that whenever we are using greedy best first search, it may not give the optimal complexity value. Okay, and optimal solution value also. So that we have to remember. Okay, so this is greedy best first search. Okay, now if you have any question, then ask me.
স্যার হিউরিস্টিকটা কি ছিল ভুলে গেছি, একবার বলেন না।
Heuristic thing is that you have to use some information which is not provided to you, but out of your experience we are going to use some information in regarding a problem domain where you are solving that. So that information is going to accelerate your searching thing. Okay, suppose you that I told you that you are going from one source to another destination. There are many means to go there. Either you can travel by bus, train, or by private car, but you know that the traveling by train would have been a better option for you by your experience. So then that information is going to accelerate your searching procedure. So this information is not provided in the problem domain. No one told you that go travel by train. But if out of your experience you are basically applying this information, so that information is going to be useful for you. So these sort of informations are called heuristic information. Okay, what you use. Okay, so this is greedy waste first search. Now greedy waste first search is not so good searching algorithm in BFS, in best first search, not BFS, in best first search. But next we are trying to figure out whether we can do better. Okay, whether we can do better with the best first search. So greedy waste first search is one of the versions of best first search. Now we are moving to the next searching scheme. This is a most popularly used version of best first search, which we call A star search. Okay, A star search. A star search is a best first search. Now, what is the main difference between A star search and greedy waste first search? As you can remember, in greedy waste first search, we have used the Fn equal to, we have used the calculated Fn equal to Hn only. But here, instead of calculating Fn depending on Hn only, we are calculating Fn depending on Hn and Gn. Now, what was Gn? What is Gn? Gn is basically the cost to reach to node n from the start node. Okay, as you can remember, what was Hn? Hn was the estimated cost of the cheapest solution to reach to node n to goal node. So earlier we have considered this cost only. From node n to the goal node cost was considered. But now we are adding the cost of reaching to node n from the start node with this Hn. Okay, so here Fn is equal to Gn plus Hn. As you can see, a Gn plus Hn is Fn. Okay, now this addition, we'll see that what is the benefit of this addition. Okay, so why do we need this addition? We'll seeing that out of this addition, it has reduced our problem a lot. Okay, due to this addition, and if we can design the heuristic function Hn in a proper way, then obviously lots of problems are getting solved. Okay, it will become an optimal solution. It will provide us an optimal solution. It will provide us a complete solution as well. So it is very, very beneficial. So that is the advantage of A star search over greedy waste first search. We have added Gn with Hn, but not only that is sufficient, but we have to design the Hn in a proper way. Otherwise, it is not going to work for us. Okay. Now, as I told you that Gn gives the path cost of the start node to node n, and Hs is the estimated cost of the cheapest path from n to goal node. Eventually, by adding them up, we are getting Fn equal to estimated cost of the cheapest solution through n. Through n means if we are moving from the start node to the goal node using n. Using n means n is a node in the intermediate node. If we are moving from the start node to the goal node through n, that means by expanding n, we are moving from start node to the goal node. That means we are moving to start node from start node to goal node via n. Then obviously the cost will be estimated cheapest solution cost. Okay, so that is ensured because Hn is the estimated cost of the cheapest solution, and we are considering the cost of reaching to node n from start node. So as a whole, we are considering the estimated cheapest cost from start node to goal node. Start node to node n cost we have considered as Gn. Node n to goal node estimated cost we have considered as Hn. So when we are summing them up, we are getting the cost from start node to goal node, and this cost is cheapest cost. Okay, so that is the concept of A star search. Okay, thus if we are trying to find out the cheapest solution, we should go for the node having the lowest Gn plus Hn value. Okay, as Gn plus Hn together is giving us the estimated cheapest cost to reach to the goal node from the start node. So obviously this is our motto to get. Okay, so if we are trying to get that, then obviously the node which will give us the lowest value of Gn plus Hn will be our point of interest. We'll be expanding that node because this Gn plus Hn together will give us the cheapest cost. Then obviously the node which is having this value as the smallest one will give us the cheapest cost. So obviously we are trying to move to goal node from the start node using that node which will give us this Gn plus Hn as the smallest one. Okay, so node which will give us smallest fn or gn plus hn value will be our point of interest, will be our node of interest, and we will be expanding that node in order to get the solution in the cheapest way and in order to reach to the goal node as well. So this will ensure the completeness and optimality provided that we have designed HN properly. If HN is overestimating the actual cost, this solution is not going to give us the optimal solution, or this search is not going to give us the optimal solution. So everything is dependent on the value of HN, because GN we can easily consider from the start node to node n, but HN we have to assume, we have to design by ourselves. So it is up to us to design HN properly so that the task of this A star search is completed properly and it is going to give us the optimal as well as the complete solution. Okay, so there lies the concept of A star search. Now, as we know that earlier we didn't consider in the greedy best first search, we didn't consider the GN value. Now we have considered the GN value along with HN. So this searching technique is a better searching technique than greedy best first search. Now it is complete. Obviously, I told you if HN is designed properly, then if a solution exists, A star search is going to surely find out the solution. It's for sure. Okay. Hence, A star search is called complete search. Now, there lies the concept of optimality. How we can ensure whether A star search is optimal or not. That is very, very important. Okay. Now, regarding the optimality constraint, we have to use the heuristic function with different properties. Now, I told you about tree search and graph search algorithm. Okay. In tree search algorithm, a node which is being produced early can be reproduced. Okay, we can reproduce a node again. But in graph search algorithm, once a node is being produced, we cannot reproduce it. We cannot have a repetition of nodes in the search tree in a graph search. But in case of tree search, it is possible. So, in case of tree search, if our heuristic function, whatever heuristic function we have designed, is admissible, then that heuristic ensures that the A star search gives the optimal solution. So in case of tree search, if repetition of node is allowed, in that search, A star search is applied, then heuristic should be admissible heuristic. I told you what was admissible heuristic. It should not overestimate the actual cost. If a heuristic never overestimates the actual cost, it is considered as admissible heuristic. So if a heuristic is admissible in an A star search is applied in tree search, then it ensures that A star search gives us the optimal solution. That is sufficient thing to ensure optimality. But while it is about applying A star search in graph search algorithm, where a node, if produced once, cannot be reproduced. So this is more strict. Graph search algorithms are stricter than tree search algorithm because you have to imply a more strict constraint that you cannot reproduce the same node. Okay. So in case of graph search algorithm, admissibility is not sufficient to ensure the optimality. There we have to ensure that our heuristic function, whatever we have used in the A star search, is consistent. Consistency, I told you that HN should be less or equal to CNAN dash plus HN dash. Okay, that I told you in the last class. This is the consistency. HN should be less or equal to CNAN dash plus HN dash. CNAN dash is the cost of reaching to N dash, which is a successor of N. Okay, by doing an action A, and HN dash is cost of reaching to goal node from N dash. N is a node, N dash is its successor. The cost of reaching from N to N dash is C by doing an action A, and the cost of reaching from N dash to goal node is HN dash. So HN, that is the cost of reaching to goal from node A, is less or equal to CNAN dash plus HN dash that I told you in the last class is said to be the constraint of consistency. If a heuristic function HN maintains that, then that heuristic is called consistent. So in case of graph search, if you are going to apply A star search, then we have to ensure our heuristic function is consistent. If it is consistent, then optimal solution is ensured or given by A star search. Okay, so that is more important in graph search algorithm. Now let me tell you once again that it can be proved that if a heuristic function is consistent, it is admissible as well. If a heuristic function is consistent, it is admissible as well. Okay, you have to understand that. Now, another thing I have to ensure that, I have to tell you that while it is come to completeness of a search, if we can ensure that the path cost, every path cost is greater than or equal to a positive constant epsilon, that this concept we have used in uniform cost search. As you can remember, we have ensured the completeness and optimality of uniform cost search by providing this constant that every path cost, the cost of reaching to every node from another node, that the cost of every path should be at least epsilon, where epsilon is a positive constant. If we can ensure that, if we can ensure the path cost, each path cost is greater or equal to epsilon, where epsilon is a positive constant, then A star search ensures completeness. Okay, otherwise you can find out that if the path cost is 0, then obviously Fn value will give us 0, and always we are going to expand that node, that will be looping. So from a node we are going to expand the node having the smallest Fn value. So if Fn is 0, always we are going to expand that node, and we cannot make a further progress from that node. That means we will loop into that node. So that's why we cannot, we should ensure that the no past cost is 0, rather it is at least as a positive constant epsilon. So if that is ensured, then we can say the A star search, like uniform cost search, ensures completeness. Okay, is it okay with you? If you have any question, then ask me, because this search is very important, sir. Hello, if anyone is having any question, ask me. Otherwise I'll move to the next topic. Hello, hello.
Yes, sir.
If you have any query, then ask me about A star search. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So I am moving to the next topic. We are going to solve a problem using A star search. Okay. So before we proceed, we need to have a look at this proof. This is a very important proof. Okay. What is the proof? If Hn is consistent, we have provided that Hn is consistent heuristic, then the values of Fn along any path is non-decreasing. That means if we ensure that a heuristic is consistent, then Fn is the evaluation function value, which was Gn plus Hn. Then we have to show that Fn is always increasing. Whenever we are moving to from start node to the goal node, Fn is always increasing. It is not decreasing. Okay, it is non-decreasing means it is increasing. Okay. Now, how can we prove that? This proof is very, very important. Okay, because out of this proof we can ensure the optimality. Okay, we'll be seeing. Now, if we are moving from start node to goal node and n dash is considered to be the successor of n, that is n dash is plain, in a plain word, is a child of n, node n, then obviously gn dash equal to gn plus cn dash. How come this? Gn dash, what is gn? Gn is the cost of the path from start node to node n. Now what is gn dash? It is the cost of the path from start node to node n dash. Okay, so it is the cost of the path to reach to node n dash from start node. Now n dash is a child of n, so obviously gn dash will be gn. What is gn? Gn is the cost of the path for reaching to node n from start node. So we reach from start node to node n, then we reach the node from node n to n dash, so we'll get the cost of reaching start node to node n dash, because node n dash is basically child of n. So gn is the cost of reaching to node n from start node. Now cn dash is the cost of reaching to n dash from n. So if we sum them up, what we are going to get? The cost of reaching to n dash from start node. Okay, so this is very simple. I hope you have understood that. Is it okay? Is it okay?
Sir,
This thing is
Yes,
gn dash is basically the cost to reach to n dash from start node. Okay, Now, what is Gn? Gn is the cost of reaching to n from the start node. Now, if Cn dash is the cost of reaching to n dash from node n. Now, n dash is a successor of n. Now, Gn means we have reached from the start node to node n. Cn dash means we have reached from node n to n dash. So, Gn plus Cn dash, this is the total cost of reaching to n dash from the start node. From the start node, we have reached to node n. From node n, we have reached to node n dash. If we sum these two costs, then what cost we are going to get? The cost of reaching to n dash from the start node. Is it okay? Because n dash is the child of n. So first you have to reach to n, then you have to reach from n to n dash. So these two costs are added to get to the cost of reaching to n dash from start node. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, we know that what is Fn? Fn is Gn plus Hn. So what is Fn dash? Gn dash plus Hn dash. Same formula. Okay. Now, in case of Gn dash, in place of Gn dash, what we have put? We have put Gn plus Cn dash. Okay. So Fn dash has become Gn plus Cn dash plus Hn dash. Is it okay? In place of Gn dash, we have plotted Gn plus Cn dash. Okay. So Fn dash has become Gn plus Cn dash plus Hn dash. Now, is it greater or equal to Gn plus Hn? How come that? Can anyone tell me why this is greater than Gn plus Hn? Can anyone tell me? Think about the consistency. Think about the consistency. Can anyone tell me? Hello? No. Think about the consistency. Okay. Gn plus Cn dash plus Hn dash. Okay. Now, in case of consistency, what was the thing? Hn should be less or equal to Cn dash plus Hn dash. That was the consistency constraint. Okay. Now, watch carefully. Here, what we have obtained up to now, before the greater than sign, Gn plus Cn dash plus Hn dash. Okay. Now, in place of Cn dash plus Hn dash, if we put Hn in place of Cn dash plus Hn dash. Okay. Now Hn is basically less than these two sum. Cn dash plus Hn dash is basically greater than equal to Hn from the proof of consistency. As you can remember, consistency says Hn is less or equal to Cn dash plus Hn dash. That means Cn dash plus Hn dash is basically greater than equal to Hn. Okay. So now in place of Cn dash plus Hn dash, if we are going to put Hn, then obviously that term will be lesser than Gn plus this term. Is it okay or not? Is it okay or not? Hello? You have to
Yes, sir.
answer me.
Yes, sir.
So in place of Cn dash, earlier it was Gn plus Cn dash plus Hn dash. Okay. Now in place of Cn dash plus Hn dash, we are putting Hn. So Gn plus Cn dash plus Hn dash is obviously greater or equal to Gn plus Hn because Hn is less than Cn dash plus Hn dash. Okay. So we can say that Fn dash is basically greater or equal to Gn plus Hn. Now what is Gn plus Hn? Fn. That we know. So from this proof, we can conclude that Fn dash is greater or equal to Fn. That was the proof we are looking for, that if you are moving downwards towards the goal node, Fn is non-decreasing. So here we have proved that Fn dash is greater or equal to Fn. So it is non-decreasing compared to Fn. Either it is greater or equal to. So that is, it is non-decreasing. As we are moving, Fn dash value is greater or equal to Fn. That is, it is increasing. Okay. So that is the concept. Now, from this proof, we can see that we have shown that that as we are moving from the start node to goal node, always the evaluation function value of a node is going to increase. Okay, so if the first solution that we have obtained, that is the shallowest solution, is it the optimal solution or not? Obviously. Why? Because if we are going to get a solution after that, its Fn value is either greater than of that or at least equal to than that. But the second solution is not going to provide us an Fn which is less than the upper solution. So once we have obtained the upper solution, first solution, that's Fn value, and the next solution's Fn value, if we compare them, we can find that the next solution's Fn value is greater or equal to the Fn value of the upper solution or the shallowest solution. Is it true or not? Fn is increasing. So first solution's Fn value is always less, and the next solution's Fn value cannot be less than the first solution Fn value. Either it is greater or equal to. So if we are going to get the first solution, the shallowest solution or the uppermost solution, that solution is the optimal solution. If we are using, but how can we ensure that? We can ensure that if the heuristic is consistent, because with the use of consistency of the heuristic, we have proved that Fn dash is greater or equal to Fn. But if the heuristic is not consistent, we cannot make this claim that Fn dash is greater or equal to Fn. Okay, so if the heuristic is consistent, the shallowest solution or the uppermost solution expanded by the A star search or explored by the A star search is the optimal solution. Okay, that is the concept. So that's why this proof is very important. If you have any query, then ask me. Hello. Hello. হ্যালো
নো স্যার স্যার একটা ওই এন ড্যাশ ওইগুলো কি আছে কিছু বুঝলাম না ওই জায়গাটা
Yes,
আমার
sir.
net
লেখা আছে n dash what is written n dash is successor of n child n dash is the child of n, that means after n you can produce n dash. Okay,
তো
the
সেটা
thing is
কি এন
that
থেকে বড় হবে
n এর থেকে বড় হবে না, fn dash is greater or equal to fn. Fn dash is greater or equal to fn. এই যে প্রুফটা, you look at this proof. Okay, so by this proof what we have proved that fn dash is greater or equal to fn. That means the evaluation function value of any successor node is greater or equal to evaluation function value of its parent. So whenever we are moving down from the start node to goal node, then obviously we are having an fn value or the evaluation function value of the successor nodes which is greater or equal to the evaluation function value of its parent node. So in the last case I have developed, I have told you that if this is true, then what we can claim? The first node, the first goal node or the uppermost goal node or the shallowest goal node have the fn value. Okay, now if we explore the next goal node after that, then obviously the fn value of the second goal node or the next goal node is going to be greater or equal to the fn value of the shallowest goal. Shallowest goal means the first goal node that we have encountered. The fn value we have get the fn value of that node. Now whatever goal, if we are going to get a goal node after that as well, suppose more than one goals are there. First we have obtained a goal node. After that we have obtained another goal node. But the second goal node's fn value is always greater or equal to the fn value of the first goal node. That we have proved. Because as we are moving down, the fn value is going to increase. So first goal node's fn value is going to be the smallest one. Because next goal node's fn value should be greater or equal to the first node goal node's fn value. That's we have proved fn dash is greater or equal to fn. So from this what we can obtain? The first goal node is the optimal node. Because afterwards, after getting the first node, we can get other goal nodes as well. But their fn value is not less than the first goal node's fn value. That we have ensured. Okay, we have ensured by this proof. So the first goal node is the optimal, because what is optimality? Minimum fn. So minimum fn is going to be obtained by the first goal node, because all other goal nodes are going to give us more. increasing Fn. So Fn will be increased. So that's why the first goal node is going to be the minimum Fn value or the optimal goal node. Okay. So how we can claim that? Because of the consistency. This proof lies in case of consistency. Okay, depends on the consistency of a heuristic. So if we can ensure that our heuristic is consistent, then we can prove Fn dash is greater or equal to Fn. Then we can prove that the first goal node or the shallowest goal node is the optimal. Okay. Hello. Hello. Okay. Okay. Then we are moving. Okay. Now this is a very important. Okay. This is a very important. Let me enlarge it. Okay. So this is a problem. This is 8 puzzle problem. Okay. This is 8 puzzle problem. And start node. Are you seeing the start node? Start state?
Yes,
Okay.
sir. দেখতে
Okay.
পাচ্ছি।
Very good. So this is the start state. So I have discussed the 4 puzzle problem last day. So instead of 4 tiles or 4 cells, we have 9 cells. Now this is called 8 puzzle problem because out of these 9 cells, 8 cells are numbered from 1 to 8 and 1 cell is empty cell. Okay. Now we'll consider the empty cell will move from here to there. Okay. How many movements are possible? 4 movements, left, right, up and down. So these are the possible movements. Clear? Now we have, this is the start state what is given to you, and this is the goal state where you have to reach. Now you have to apply A star search for solving this problem. Okay, we can solve it by BFS, by DFS, by iterative deepening, but now we have to solve it by A star search and see that whether the search procedure is more clever or less time consuming or not. Okay. Very good. Now, these are the questions. What we have to write. First, write the state space. Then write the production rules. We have done that in missionary cannibals problem, in water jug problem as well. Define the heuristic function. Here, I told you that heuristic function no one is going to give you. It's out of you how to design the heuristic function. So you are asked to define the heuristic function which you are going to use to solve this problem. Now you have to judge whether the heuristic is admissible or not. Okay? Admissible or not, how can we judge? We have to show that the heuristic never overestimates the actual cost. Okay? Now at last, you have to show a possible solution of the problem. Okay? So let us solve it. First, the state space. Now let me tell you, here, a state is basically the arrangement of 9 tiles. How many tiles are there? 9 tiles are there. 8 are numbered from 1 to 8 and 1 is empty tile. So a particular state is an arrangement of these 9 tiles. Okay, like this is the start state. So this is a particular state. This is the goal state. This is a particular state. So we'll have all other intermediate states. Okay, so a state is represented by the arrangement of 9 tiles. Okay, 8 are numbered and 1 is empty. Clear? Now, what is state space? A set of these states. So this is a single state. If we are taking a set of them, we are going to get the state space. Okay? Very good. Now, what are the production rules?
স্যার আরেকবার
And-
বলুন স্টেট টেস্টটা।
State is, this is a particular state. Okay, the arrangement of 9 tiles is a particular state and a set of these states. That means, what is state space? A set of all states. So this is a particular state, arrangement of 9 tiles. So we have got the start state, we have got the goal state, we are going to get the intermediate state as well. So all these states, the set of all these states will give us the state space. Okay, this is the initial state, this is the goal state, and we are going to get other intermediate states as well. So a set of all these states, a collection of all these states will give us the state space. Okay, now production rule. What is the production rule? The empty tile can move to left, which is denoted by L. Empty tile moves to right, which is denoted by R. Moves to up, which is denoted by U. Moves to down, which is denoted by D. Okay. So that we already know. In 4 puzzle problem, we have done that. Now the heuristic function. Now, what is the heuristic function? Heuristic is defined as the number of misplaced tiles. Misplaced tiles or out of place tiles. That means, what is misplaced tiles? Everyone watch carefully. Now, whether a tile is misplaced or not, that means whether the tile is in the same position where it should be in the goal node. Now, you say in the start state, how many tiles are misplaced? 1. Is it in the same position in the goal node? Hello? In the start state?
No, sir.
No. Now 2. Is it in the same position? No?
No, sir.
Okay. Then 3? Yes. 4? Yes. 5? Yes. 6? No.
No.
7? Yes. 8? No. Okay. So how many misplaced tiles are there in the start state? 1 is misplaced, 2 is misplaced, 3 is not misplaced, 4 is not misplaced, 5 is not misplaced, 6 is misplaced. So 3, then 7 is not misplaced, 8 is also misplaced, 4. So 4 misplaced tiles are there. Okay. How many tiles are misplaced? 4. 3, 4, 5 and 7 are not misplaced, but other tiles are misplaced. Don't count the empty tile to be misplaced. Okay? Clear? Don't count the empty tile to be misplaced. Clear? So how many tiles are misplaced? 4. So the heuristic function value of the start state is 4. HL is 4 for the start state. Okay? Is it clear? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Very good. So this is the heuristic that we are going to use. Now, we have to say that whether this heuristic is admissible or not. Okay? Now, you tell me, if we have 4 misplaced tiles, at least how many tiles are to be moved to go to the goal node? In a single action, how many tiles can be moved? Only once. Okay? In a single action, either left, right or up, down movement of the empty tile, how many tiles can be moved? 1 tile. So if we have 4 misplaced tiles, then at least how many tiles should be moved to go to the goal node? At least, if we have 4 misplaced tiles in the start state and we want to reach to the goal state, how many tiles have to be moved at least? Come on, tell me.
Sir,
At
1.
least how many tiles have to be moved? Right? Can 1?
নিচ থেকে তো শুধু ওপরে যাবে।
Oh, that is a single action. In a single action, only 1 tile can be moved. If we have 4 misplaced tiles, in order to go to the goal node, how many misplaced tiles are to be placed? At least. Hello? 4, obviously. At least 4, they are misplaced. They are misplaced. So at least 4 have to be placed to go to the goal node. If all of them are misplaced, if 8 are all misplaced, then at least 8 tiles have to be moved. Because in a single movement, we can place only 1 tile. But in certain cases, we'll find that we need to move we need to have at least 2 movements to move a tile into a position, like 8. Can we place it in its proper position by a single movement? No. At least 2 movements are needed to place it in its proper position. But at least 1 movement is needed. Like for 1, how many movements are needed? At least 1. Like for 2, at least 1. So for each tile, at least 1 movement, each misplaced tile, at least one movement is needed to place it. Okay. And if you have 4 misplaced tiles, then at least how many movements are needed? 4. Okay. Is it clear or not? Come on, tell me.
Yes, sir, clear.
Then, if we are considering Hn to be number of misplaced tiles. Okay. Now, can we get to the goal node from the start node by moving less than 4 number of tiles? Is it possible? Can we go to the goal node from the start node by moving less than 4 number of tiles? It is not possible. So, the actual cost of reaching to the goal node cannot be less than the heuristic. So, the heuristic, it should be at least heuristic value. At least 4 tiles should be moved, maybe greater than that. As you can see that, for movement of 8, we need at least 2 movements. But with less than 4 movement, we cannot go to the goal node. So, the heuristic function gives us the minimum movement. It is not going to overestimate the actual cost. The actual cost cannot be less or equal to the heuristic. Or heuristic cannot be greater or equal to the actual cost. Okay. We are taking the minimum cost. So, this is not overestimating the actual cost. So, the heuristic is admissible. Okay. Heuristic is admissible heuristic. Okay. Now, is it okay? Is it okay with everyone?
Yes,
Hello? Okay. Now, after we have ensured that, we are going to use the search tree to find a solution. Finally, we have to go for the solution. Now, let me tell you one thing. In this particular solution, whenever we have to design the search tree, every state of the problem is represented by a node of the search tree. So, node of the search tree is going to represent a state of the problem. Okay? Node of the search tree is going to represent a state of the problem, and for every node, we are going to calculate the Fn value. Okay? Now, how we are going to calculate the Fn? As you can remember, in A star search, Fn equal to Gn plus Hn. Okay? Now, Hn, we have already defined the number of misplaced tiles. Now, what is Gn? Gn is the depth of the node n in the search tree. Okay? So, whenever we are calculating Fn value for node n, Gn is the depth of node n in the search tree, and Hn is the number of misplaced tiles of node n. And a node is basically a state of the problem. Okay? Now, the node which will give us the minimum Fn value will be expanded. Okay? Because we are looking for minimization of cost. So, minimum Fn value node will be expanded and Fn value will be calculated. If more than one node is going to give us the same Fn value, we have to expand them both. So, both of them will be expanded. Okay? Now, we are drawing this search tree, as you can see. Okay? Now, this is the search tree. So, this is the start node. So, what will be the Fn value of this node? Start node is Fn value. What is the start node's Fn value? Gn plus Hn. As you can remember, Fn is calculated as Gn plus Hn. So, what is Gn? Depth of this node. Now, this is the root node. So, depth is 0. Is it okay? Depth of a root node is 0. And how many tiles are misplaced? Whenever you need to count the misplaced tiles, you compare that with the goal node. Okay? So, we have compared that with the goal node and found that how many tiles are misplaced? 4. Okay? As you can check, whenever we are comparing that the goal node with the goal node, how many tiles are misplaced? 4. 2 is misplaced, 8 is misplaced, 1 is misplaced, and 6 is misplaced. Okay? So, 4 tiles are misplaced. So, Hn equal to 4 and Gn equal to 0 for the start node or the root node of the search tree. So, 0 plus 4 will give us 4. Okay. Now, you tell me how many movements are possible. Empty tile has to move. It can move left, it can move right, it can move up, but down movement is not possible. Okay. And you have to remember that we are applying graph search. So repetition of node is not possible. Okay. So left, up and right movement are possible. If empty tile moves left, L stands for left movement. Okay. So this node is produced. I hope you can understand easily. Empty tile move left, so 7 will move right. Okay. Now you calculate the Fn value of this node. Now, what will be the Gn? What will be the depth of this node? You tell me. Depth of this node in the search tree is 1. Okay. Depth of the node, root node was 0. So depth of this node is 1. So Gn equal to 1. Plus, what is Hn? Number of misplaced tiles. How many tiles are misplaced? You can compare that with the goal node. Compare that with the goal node. This 283.164-75. 2 is misplaced. Okay. 8 is misplaced. 6 is misplaced. 1 is misplaced. 7 is misplaced. Because goal node is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So how many tiles are misplaced? 5. So add them up. We are going to get 6 as Fn value. Is it okay or not? Tell me.
Yes,
Hello.
Sir.
So 6.
Yes, sir.
Then with the right movement, we have produced this node. Okay. With the right movement of empty tile, 5 will go left and this node will be produced. Okay. Now do the same. For this node, what is Gn? Same. Because they are in the same level. The left node, right node and the up node, they are at the same level. So what is the Gn value? Depth of the node in search tree is 1. Now how many tiles are misplaced? You calculate. 2 is misplaced, 8 is misplaced, 6 is misplaced, 1 is misplaced and 5 is misplaced. So 5. So 1 plus 5 will give us 6. Okay. Now up. Up movement of the tile will give us this arrangement. Okay. Now you do the same. Gn is 1 and number of misplaced tiles are how many? 2 is misplaced, 8 is misplaced and 1 is misplaced and others are not misplaced. So Hn equal to 3. So sum them up, we will get Fn equal to 4. Okay. Is it clear? Okay. Now, among these 3 functions, these 3 nodes, which one is giving us the minimum Fn value? Left, right or up? Left is up. It is 4. So up is the next node to be expanded. I told you we are going to expand the node with the minimum Fn value. Okay. Now these 2 nodes, left and right, are not expanded. So this is reducing the search cost. If we would have used BFS, best first search, we would have expanded these 2 nodes as well. But here we don't have to expand them. So that is the acceleration we are gaining. Okay. We don't have to expand these 2 nodes, but still we are going to get the solution. Now, from this particular node, up node, how many nodes are possible? You tell me. Empty tile can move left, can move right, can move up, but cannot move down. Why? Because otherwise the previous node will be produced. We are using the graph search, so we cannot produce the already produced node. So if empty tiles from this node, empty tile moves down, then we are going to have this node produced, the first node. Okay. So that is not allowed. So only possible movements are left, right and up. Okay. Down movement is not possible because out of the up movement we have produced this. If we are going to do the down movement, we are going to get the same node, same old node or root node. So we cannot produce it. We are using the graph search. Now, from the left movement, this node is produced. I hope you can understand, because the blank tile had moved left, so the 1 will move right. So this is produced. Okay. Now, for this node, this left node, you calculate the Fn value. Now Gn will be depth. What is the depth of this node? We are in the next level, so depth will become 2. Okay. Now how many tiles are misplaced? You can calculate. 8 is misplaced, 2 is misplaced, 1 is misplaced, so 3. So this will give us Fn value of 5. Okay. From the left movement. From the right movement, this node is produced. Depth is 2 and number of misplaced tiles are 4. You can check it by your own. So this will give us Fn equal to 6. Now from the up movement, this tile is produced where the depth is 2 and number of misplaced tiles is 3. So total Fn equal to 5. Okay. So you can check it by your own. Now, how many tiles are there? Then how many nodes are giving the minimum Fn value? Tell me.
2.
2. Left one and the right one and the up one. Okay. So we have to expand them both. Now, while expanding the leftmost node, what are the possible expansion we are having? Left expansion is not possible because we are at the dead end. Right expansion will give us the old node, this one, because from left expansion of this node we have produced this. If we are applying right expansion on this, we are going to get the old node. So that is not possible. So only expansion we are having is up and down. Okay. So from up node we are producing this. So what is Gn here? Earlier Gn was 2. First it was 0, then 1, then 2. We are in the next level, so it is 3. And number of out of place tiles you can calculate is 3. So total Fn equal to 6. Now from the down movement, we have calculated the Fn like this. Okay. Here, so Fn equal to 7. From this part, what are the possible movements? Left movement is possible, up is not possible. Down movement will give us the old node, so it is not possible. Right movement is possible. So we have done the left and right movement. Okay. We have produced these two nodes. Now again we have calculated the Fn. I hope it is understandable. Gn is 3 because we are in the same level. And number of misplaced tiles you can calculate by your own is 2. So it will give us 5. And here Fn equal to 7. 3 plus 4. Now which node is giving us the minimum value? This left node. Because first case it is 6 Fn, then 7, then 5, then 7. So minimum Fn is 5. This one. Okay. So this node will be expanded. Now you tell me which possible movement of the empty tile is here. Which possible movement is there? Left movement is not possible. Up movement is not possible. Right movement will give us the same old node. It is not possible. So only movement we are having is down. So as you can check, we are not expanding huge number of nodes. But in case of BFS or DFS, we would have expanded them all. So we are escaping from expanding those nodes, but still we are getting the solution. There lies the power of star search. Without expanding much of those nodes, we can go to the goal node. So there lies the concept of star search. It is basically accelerating our search. Okay. So now you can see that we are confined to the down movement only. Other movements are not possible. So down movement will give us this value. Here we are in the next level. So Gn is now 4. 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it is 4. And how many tiles are misplaced? Only a single tile, 8. So Fn is 5. As we are having a single node, we will expand that. Now how many possible movements are there of empty tile? It can move. It cannot move left. It cannot move up because up movement will give us the old value, old node. So it can move right or it can move down. So when it has moved right, we have reached the goal node. This is the goal node. Okay. We have calculated the Fn value out of this algorithm. So Fn equal to depth is 5 because we are in the next level and no tiles is misplaced. So Hn equal to 0. So Fn equal to 0, 5 plus 0. And for this tile, we have expanded Fn equal to 5 plus 2, 7. So this is the goal node. Now, you can watch that in this solution, in this search tree, the solution path is darkened. The dark path ensures the path of the solution. So from root node, we are using this dark path to move to the up to up, then L, left, then down, then R to get the solution. So in the search tree, the solution path is darkened. Okay, as you can see that I have written in the last line. In the search tree, the solution part is dark. Okay, is it okay? If you have any question, then ask.
Okay, sir.
Just keep on. শোনা যাচ্ছে না? শোনা যাচ্ছে না?
ক্যালকুলেট হচ্ছে।
বুঝতে পারছি না। What you are saying?
থাক পরে বলেন স্যার, আমার এমনি
লেখ লেখ।
স্যার আপনাকে পরে জিজ্ঞেস করে নিব।
না বল, এখনই বল।
স্যার আমি
Clear it.
শুনতে পারবো না, আওয়াজ কাটছে পুরো।
Okay, then ask me later. Okay, today you ask me because otherwise you'll forget.
স্যার
I'm going
আপনি
to.
বলবেন?
No. দাঁড়াও. Okay.
আচ্ছা আমি একটু ব্যাংকে যাচ্ছি, আপনি বলুন একটু।
No. Let me call the names. Then go. So is it okay? Okay. So I'm calling the names. Okay. Ankit Giri not present. Anubrata Banerjee not present. Orko not present.
হ্যাঁ আমারটা
Then
দিয়ে দেবেন, আমি ধরে বেরোচ্ছি।
not present. কে? সায়ন?
হ্যাঁ সায়ন বলছি,
হ্যাঁ, okay.
দিয়ে দেবেন
Okay.
তো?
হ্যাঁ. Chandan not present. Then Devmallo not present. If you are present, then ask, tell me. Dhiti not present. Then Dibyendu Dhar not present. Hani Singh not present. If anyone is present, then tell me, okay? Among these, Hani Singh not present. Okay. Then
আমি আছি।
দাঁড়া, যার নাম বলছি সেগুলো বল। Manish Kumar not present. Kaushali not present. Ritik Ghosh not present. Shan Datto not present. Shantanu Pal not present. Then Abu Aslam not present. Salman not present. Somnath not present. Okay. Somodipayon not present. Somodip
স্যার রোল
Pal.
নাম্বার ওয়াইজ ডাকছেন না এমনি?
আমি যেটা বলছি, যাদের নাম যাচ্ছি তাদের মধ্যে কেউ প্রেজেন্ট থাকলে বলবি।
ও আচ্ছা।
বলেই দিয়েছি, এবার আগেও তো তাই। ওকে। দ্য শ্রীবাস নট প্রেজেন্ট। শুভজিৎ সেন নট প্রেজেন্ট। শুভঙ্কর বাগ নট প্রেজেন্ট। শুভাশিস কুন্ডু নট প্রেজেন্ট। সুচিস্মিতা বেরা, সুনন্দা বাসু
স্যার
not
আছি।
present. ওকে, আচ্ছা, ভেরি গুড। দেন সুরজিৎ দে নট প্রেজেন্ট। দেন স্বস্তিকা সাহা not present. Okay. Then Tanushree এদের আছে। Then Uma Shankar not present. Okay.
স্যার আমি আছি,
স্যার আমি ছিলাম স্যার, মাইক চলেনি, শুনতে পাননি স্যার?
নেট চলে
স্বস্তিকা।
গেছে।
হ্যালো,
কে তুই, কে বলছিস? হ্যাঁ
কৌস্তব স্যার, কৌস্তব।
আছে, তোর নাম কি আমি দেখেছিলাম তোর নাম।
আরে না, আমি চলে গেছিল নেটটা, তো লেফট হয়ে গেছিলাম, বুঝতে পারিনি।
স্যার আমি কৌস্তব স্যার।
হ্যাঁ কৌস্তব, তোর নাম কি আমি দেখেছি, ডাকিনি তো, তুই আছিস।
না আমি ওই জন্য বলে দিলাম।
স্বস্তিকা কি আছিস?
স্যার আমি আছি।
আর কাউকে বলতে হবে না, বলে দিয়েছি। যাদের নাম আমি ডেকেছি তাদের মধ্যে কেউ আছিস? নেই তো? ব্যাস,
না।
ওকে।
अरे सर का कॉन्सेप्ट समझ लो कि जिसका नाम बुला रहा है वो उनकी लिस्ट में एब्सेंट है, उसमें से कोई प्रेजेंट है तो अपना नाम बोल दो, बात खत्म। बाकी
तेरा आवाज बहुत ही धीमे आ रहा है।
ठीक है
आवाज वैसे आ
ओके
रही है, वो जंगल में रहता।
ओके
স্যার লিভ করলাম।
হ্যাঁ লিভ। ওকে,
আমার রোল
থ্যাংক ইউ
নাম্বার
স্যার।
তোর রোল নাম্বার কি, তুই কে? হ্যাঁ?
চম্পা।
9।
হ্যাঁ, 9
হ্যাঁ
9 কে? 9 এর রোল নাম্বারে কেউ নেই তো?
স্যার কেন?
আরে দিয়েছি বেটা, তোর নাম কি আমি করেছি? যাদের নাম করিনি তাদের সবাইটা দেওয়া আছে। ওকে ওকে, থ্যাংক ইউ, গুড বাই।